I decided after seeing a bit of controversy floating around here and there within our RWBY community, I figured I'd just take a few steps back and reflect on why I've stuck to RWBY throughout the years, and why I've welcomed the show into my life. Let me set the stage for you. First year university student, September 2016. The Aether zombie story, supposedly at the time, came to a close as the critically acclaimed Revelations officially wrapped up the Black Ops 3 season with DLC Pack 4, Salvation. Now initially that ending left me empty and I began to feel small as the hype period was fading away. Now zombies couldn't hold me forever. It was inevitable that I'd find something new, something that I hadn't tried yet. Thankfully, this lovely fellow, Ramses, had the perfect solution. That solution was for me to try out RWBY. Initially, if memory serves, the conversation went like this. He described how the presentation of the show was a bit lackluster compared to later volumes, but definitely still recommended that I give it a shot. I figured since I haven't really watched anime in a little while, I'd start out slow. It took me a few weeks to finally sit down and see what the hype was all about, especially since Volume 4 at the time was ready to release. First thing to come to mind was to scope out the promotional material, those color trailers. Initially, I remembered my thoughts being like this. Oh, she's a Jedi monk character, so she's gotta be the quiet one.
Can I have your autograph?
That's not, Oh, she's a singer of some kind? And she uses a sword and jumps around like a beast? I think I like her.
What are you even doing here? Aren't you a little young to be attending Beacon?
Oh my god. Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Nope. Don't you dare.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now?
Okay, calm down.
So, shortly afterwards, I noticed the really short episodes. Some barely contained a 5-minute runtime on some of the episodes in the first volume. Did that stop me? Well, ironically, it's what pulled me into it, since at times, I kinda turn away from anime that contain 20-minute episodes, or, God forbid, 40. So, in a way, I viewed this and the trailer as one of those food samples I'd find at a local Costco's. Try me, the show said, and try I did. Right off the bat, despite the scythe spinning, epic fights, and a feeling that I was pretty much walking into new territory, there was a certain grounded relatability that I could feel with the characters already walking in. Recall that at the beginning of the video, I was just entering university, and rightfully so, these characters were entering this world's version of what was considered university. In a way, I felt welcome too, watching them enter their new lives, whether they've shown excitement, slight disappointment, or even confusion that ensued in hilariously enacted first encounters. It was hilarious in a way that I said to myself, yup, that was me as well. More so between Jean, Ruby, and Blake than the others. It was really refreshing to get invested into this whole new world since I had to accept that gone were the days of Treyarch's Call of Duty Zombies, and here were the days of Rooster Teeth showing me their vision of an anime that their dear friend left them to carry, as I would soon find out. Which leads me to my next point. Admiration. I really admired the spirit that RWBY gave to me, and after doing some digging, watching the show, finding out who created it, I stumbled across a figure that I hadn't heard of before, Monteum. Even though I hadn't been aware of who he was, nor was I aware of his passing at the time, until I did a Google search to confirm it myself, so as such, I needed to educate myself on who this man was, as much as I can. As research continued, my admiration for this man continued to grow, and the words he left behind only solidified that I should stay within RWBY's fandom. It got me back into the anime genre. So not everything's 100% grim. There's bound to be some good folks that I've run into, and that I did. YouTubers, friends, fellow fandom peeps that I can trust. Hell, over time, I did get to meet some of the iconic members of RWBY's cast, the main four. Now time's going along and time's passing, Volume 4 comes and goes, and so does Volume 5. Now this was a challenge to many people since the world continued to try and add on new pieces of story to the narrative and give them new ideas to work with. Through thick and thin, those who believed somehow Rooster Teeth could continue what their friend left behind continued to watch. I was one of those people as well. As such, trust was challenged and faith was hanging on the rope. Some chose to stay, while others had the perseverance and patience to wait for better things to happen. I too had my faith shaken, but sometimes it's important to keep your cool. Like I said, waiting for better things to happen, and acknowledging there's more work to be done, and there's remnants of this story still left to be unraveled as time goes on, I'm all for it.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.